everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our topic reading comprehension. This is part 5. This is very important topic for any competitive exam. Now in this part 5, we are again going to discuss some paragraphs and questions based on them. So without wasting time, let's begin the session. This is passage number 14. It means till passage number 13 we have already read in our earlier sessions. So passage number 14, so just we now have an idea that how to solve a reading comprehension. Now let us read the beginning of this passage, that is, one may look at life, events, society, history in another way. A way which might at a stretch be described as a Gandhian way. Though it may be from times before Mahatma Gandhi came on the scene. The Gandhian reaction to all grim poverty, squalor, and degradation of the human being would approximate to effort at self-change. Well. Just to stop over here. We do not have to read the entire passage. Just go to the questions. Though if the passage is very small, just go through the passage at once. And after that, start reading the questions. So let us go to the questions now. The passage is quite big. Not too big, but it is big. Now let us see the question. The Gandhian reaction of poverty is. Now let us try to find out this. The keyword over here is the Gandhian reaction of poverty is. Now let us see this part in the passage and try to find out these keywords in the passage. So let us see the first passage. In the first passage, it is written poverty. Yes, of course. Let us see this line. The Gandhian reaction. Now, this is the requirement. The Gandhian requirement to all grim poverty, squalor, and degradation of the human being would approximate to effort at self-change. Now, what is the requirement? Self-change and self-improvement to a regime of living regulated by discipline from within. So this is the requirement to eradicate poverty according to the Gandhian reaction. Now let us move to the question again. Now let us read the options. A total war on poverty, self-discipline, self-abnegation, a regulated distribution of wealth. So obviously we just have read this that we should have self-discipline. So our answer is B, of course. This is very, very simple. You can have the direct word in the passage. Now, it is a possibility sometimes we do not know the meanings of several words that come in passage, that those who come in the options. So if we don't know the meaning, then it is fine. We can analyze it from the passage. But now we are just practicing it. So let me tell you some meanings of the words given in these options. So let's start with the meaning of the words. First, we have the word abnegation. Abnegation refers to renunciation or self-denial, self-refusal. But to eradicate poverty or the reaction of Gandhian or the Gandhian reaction towards poverty is not abnegation. It is self-discipline or the self-improvement. Now let us read other words. Grim. Now this grim refers to something very serious. Squalor refers to a person who is being very dirty, untidy. That kind of person or that kind of situation or that kind of area is known as a squalor. Now let us move to the next question. The next question is, according to Gandhianism, the individual who wants to change society. Now let us see the keywords. Individual who wants to change society. Now let us see in the passage. Just go through the passage like you go through the menu card of a restaurant. So let us see where it is written. Individual to change society. It is written over here. The individual must first change himself. This is the requirement. Now let us see the options. Should destroy the existing society, must reform society, must change himself, must change society without changing himself. Of course, C is the correct answer. It is directly given in the passage. So our answer is C, that is, to change a society, one must change himself, according to Gandhianism. Well, now let us move to the next one. who, according to the passage, finds new meaning for words like revolutions, peace, and struggle. Now let us look for these words in the sentence. Now let us get back to the passage. We have to look for these words, that is revolution, for instance, is a term frequently used, but not always in the sense it has been in the lexicon of the militant. So also the words like peace and struggle, even society may mean differently, being some kind of organic entity for the militant and more or less a sum of individuals for the Gandhian. So these are the words. Now who found it? So in this way of looking at the life and society, words to begin to mean differently. Uh, Now let us move forward. There is yet another way which might for want. Now the reformer, whether he militant or Gandhian, the mystic measures terror. No, okay. Now let us see the options again. Uh, if we see the passage, we are not getting the answer directly. Prophets, Gandhians, kings, and prophets must leave all that they have built, all that they have unbuilt, depart. No, there is nothing. Now, let us see the options. Then we'll get a clue. A Gandhian who believes in non-violent revolution, a militant, a mystic, a Gandhian who disciplines himself from within. Now, this is the correct answer. That is D. How? Now, in this sentence, in this para, sorry, it is written to change society, the individual must first change himself. And in this way of looking at life, now in this way, what way? That he is going to change himself. And society, words do begin to mean differently. Now, if we just precede it or we just move in the first paragraph, it is written, being approximate to effort at self-change, self-improvement to a regime of living regulated by discipline from within. Now, from here we can get an idea that one who has found these words is a person who is Gandhian or a follower of Gandhiji who disciplines himself from within. So this kind of person finds new meaning for words like revolutions, peace, struggle, because it is not given in the passage directly, but you are getting the clues, and from the options you will get it directly that yes, it is given in different manner in the passage, not directly but indirectly. So our answer is D. This is again very simple. Now let us move to the next one. The expression water will to water, dust to dust means. Now let us get back to the passage. Here it is written, as you can see, water will to water and dust to dust. Think of impermanence, everything passes. Now let us read a few lines more. The continuous presence of death, of the consciousness of death, sets his priorities and values. Militants and Gandhians, kings and prophets must leave all that they have built, all that they have unbuilt, and depart when the messengers of the buffalo riding Yama come out of the shadows. Water will to water and dust to dust. Now, I think you must have get an idea that what does it mean? You must have got an idea. Whenever a person dies, he goes bare hand or he goes with bare hands. It means he left everything behind. He does not take anything with himself. So this is the actual hidden meaning behind this. That is, water and dust can mix well. Now let us see the options. Men will become water after death. Men will one day die and become dust. Men will become dust and water after death, obviously. Because we know that according to the Hindu mythology or various religions, a person or a body is made of 5 elements, and whenever he dies, they all went into it. Now let us conclude this, that water will to water, it means water will mix in water, and dust to dust, nothing is left behind. So our answer is D. That is, man will become dust and water after death. Now let us move to the next one. What does society mean to Gandhian? Now let us read this in the options only because we have already read this earlier. So let us try to analyze the meaning of this. A sum of individuals, an organic entity, a regime living regulated by discipline from within, a disciplined social community. Now, what does a society mean to Gandhi? Let us get back to the passage to see this line. And it is written. Uh, Let us just go through the passage. Uh, One may look at life, even society, history in another way, which may it is written in the passage. I have read it, or we already have read it. Now let us just see where it is written. For Gandhian, the societies, even society may even mean differently, being some kind of organic entity for the militant and more or less. Now this is written. Now this is again given directly and more or less a sum of individuals for the Gandhian. So this is the requirement answer. Now let us see in the options. Obviously, on in A option it is written as sum of individuals, so our answer is A. Now you can find that this is the easier or easiest manner to solve a reading passage or a reading comprehension. You just have to go through the passage, you just have to go through the questions, the options, and try to find out the keywords in the passage. This will take less time and will provide you with correct answers. Now let us move to the next one. This is passage number 15. Now let us try to find out the answers of this passage. There were four of us: George and William, Samuel, Harris, and myself, and Montmorency. We were sitting in my room, smoking and talking about how bad we're. It is how bad we are. Bad from a medical point of view, I mean, of course. We were all feeling seedy and we were getting quite nervous about it. CD means ill. Harris said he felt such extraordinary fits of giddiness come over him at times, and that he hardly knew what he was doing. And then, now let us move further. Though the passages are small, let us try to find out the questions. The four felt down and out because down and out means they were just feeling depressed. Why? Let us see the options. The room was too smoky. They could never read a patent medicine advertisement. They thought they were ill. They had experienced a most extraordinary thing. Now, till the passage that we have read, they were bad at medical point of view. Bad from a medical point of view. It means from this we can see because they thought they were ill. So our answer should be C. Now let us move to the next one. Next question. When the speaker read a liver pill circular. Whenever the speaker read a liver pill circular. So this is the keyword. Now let us see whether this line is given in the passage or not. It is written, not till here. We have already read this passage. Now let us move further. George said that he had fits of giddiness too and hardly knew what he was doing. With me, my liver that was out of order. I knew it was my liver that was out of order because I had just been reading a patent liver pill circular in which were detailed the various symptoms by which a man could tell when his liver was out of order. I had them all. Now let us read the question again. He suffered from an extraordinary surge of giddiness. He felt sure that he had a liver disorder. He felt the urge to smoke, or all of the above. Now, we have already read this, that he felt sure that he had a liver disorder. So our answer is B, because the symptoms that he had read told him that he felt sure that he had a liver disorder. Now let us move to the next question. The author of the above passage seems to be suffering from. Now the author, now who is the author? Here it is written because I had just been reading a patent. It means I here refers to the author of the passage. So let us read the options again. So the options are fits of morbid depression without real cause and abnormal anxiety about his health, melancholia, an unnecessarily dark, gloomy, and pessimistic attitude to life. Now, if we read this passage, he was suffering from a liver disorder. Also, it is a most extraordinary thing, but I never read a patent medicine advertisement without being impelled to the conclusion that I am suffering from a particular disease therein death with in its most virulent form. It means he is of pessimistic nature because though he could uh, get better in his life, though he could recover in his life, but he just ignored it because he knew that his death is arriving. Therefore, he is of pessimistic nature. So the answer should be D, that is an unnecessarily dark, gloomy, and pessimistic attitude towards life. So our answer should be D. So this is not given directly in the passage, but you can infer it from the passage, of course. Now let us move to the next question of this passage. Harris was troubled by. Now, who is Harris? Let us see it in the passage. First, it is written about Harris only. Harris said that he felt such an extraordinary fits of giddiness come over him at times that he hardly knew what he was doing. And then, now let us see the options again. A symptom of vertigo, garrulity, turbulation, frailty. Obviously, a symptom of vertigo. Symptom of vertigo. Now, vertigo refers to when a person is in a state of dizziness. So, the answer is A because he felt about giddiness, that is dizziness. So, our answer should be A. Now, let us move to the last question of this passage. The word which is closest in the meaning to virulent. Now, virulent is very strong feeling of anger and something. Now, let us see the options. Fantastic, vital, viral, or hostile. Vital means important. Fantastic means when something is very good. Now, obviously, because that is virulent, the feeling of strong dizziness, the feeling of strong anger, irritation, so that is hostile. So, our answer is D, that is hostile. And viral means when something is spread out. So, this was the last question of this passage. The passage is, of course, in the context, it is bad, but this is very small paragraph and you can easily find out the answers. This is not too difficult. So let us move to the next paragraph now. That is passage number 16. Now let us try to find out the questions based on this passage. Let us just read the beginning of the passage first. The postmaster first looked up his duties in the village of Ulapur. Though the village was a small one, there was an indigo factory nearby. Which factory? Indigo factory. And proprietor, an Englishman, had managed to get a post office established. Now let us see the questions. The adjective used to describe the postmaster's living room. Now we have not read this yet. Now let us get back to the passage and try to find out the room, the description of his room. Belonged to Calcutta, he felt like a fish out of water in his remote village. His office and living room were in a dark thatched shed. So, what type of shed? Dark. Now, let us see the options. Bright, dark, light, deep. Obviously, dark. So, our answer is B. This is very simple and we got it in the second para only. Now, let us move to the next one. What does the phrase ill at ease in the passage mean? Now, let us see in the passage, ill at ease. Where is it written? So, not far from green flesh. Okay. Now, just look for the word. Yes, ill at ease is here. Now, let us read the sentence. Among strangers, he appears either proud or ill at ease. Why? Noran is a Calcutta boy and an adept in the art of associating with others. At any rate, the postmaster had but little company, nor had he much to do. Now let us try to find out the meaning of this phrase, ill at ease. Let us see the options first. Forward, disease, comfortable, uneasy. Now we know we have read a few lines. That is, first of all, he was like a fish out of water in his remote village. He has not too many friends, nor is a boy of Calcutta in adapting the art of associating with others. So, he was not of a quality who can associate with others or who can be friendly with others among strangers. He appears either proud or ill at ease. It means he was just uneasy. He was just feeling uncomfortable. That means uneasy. So our answer is D, because he's either proud or he's not feeling easy or comfortable to be with them. So D is appropriately correct answer. Now let us move to the next one. What does the phrase little company in the passage mean? Now let us read the options first. Bad friendship, hardly any friends, small business, business like. Obviously, little company refers to hardly any friends. So our answer is B, there is hardly any friends. Now let us move to the next question. At times, the postmaster wrote. Now let us get back to the passage again. So what did postmaster write? At times he tried his hand at writing a verse or two. Yes, here it is written that at times he tried his hand at writing a verse or two. That the moment he leaves the clouds of the sky were enough to fill life with joy. So this is the kind of words that he wrote. Now let us see the options. Poems, novels, short stories, dramas. So the answer is poems. Now poems are verses, or you can say verses are poems. So our answer is A, that is poems. Now which genre he wrote? He wrote poems. Now let us move to the next one. The postmaster wrote on the, now on which he has written. Now let us get back to the passage again. Here it is written, the clouds of the sky were enough to fill life with joy. Such were the sentiments to which he sought to give an expression. But God knows that the poor fellow would have felt it as a gift of new life. In some genie of the Arabian Nights had in one night swept away the trees, leaves, and all. So it is somewhere like nature. Let us see the options now. Beauty of nature, beauty of himself, beauty of the weather, and beauty of the village. So now, of course, as we have seen that he was describing the nature, so it is beauty of nature. So our answer is A, of course. Now let us move to the next one. The word genie means, now we just have read this word. Let us see again. Here it is written, but God knows that a poor fellow would have felt it as the gift of a new life if some genie of the Arabian Nights. Now you must have read this story, genie, the story of genie. So genie means the spirit. So our answer is B. He was not a monster. He was the good spirit. So our answer is B. Now let us move to the next question. So the next question is, which factory was situated near village Ulapur? Now let us see. Here we have read, I made you mark that word as well, that is indigo. There was an indigo factory. Indigo refers to the dyes. So let us see the options. That is that is the blue dye. So let us see the options. Chemical, rubber, clothes, dyes. Of course, dyes. Dyes means indigo. So our answer is B. Now, our answer is D. Now let us move to the next question. What does the idiom fish out of water suggest? Let us see the options now. In unfamiliar surroundings, can die any moment, grasping for breath, amphibious creature. Now, of course, in an unfamiliar surroundings. It means, this phrase means when someone is looking like odd one out. So our answer is A. Now let us move to the next one. Find a word in the passage which is opposite to the word near. Now let us see the word which is given in the passage, which is opposite to the word near. Now let us see any word that can be the opposite of it. So we have, okay, remote. Now let us see if this word is given in the options. In the options, here it is written convenient. No, convenient cannot be the meaning opposite of near. Unknown, no. Close can be, but the word given is remote. So our answer is D, because the word close is not given in the passage, but answer is D, that is remote, and it is directly given in the passage. Near means some place which is near about, and remote at a particular distance which we do not know. Now let us move to the next question. Find a word in the passage which means the owner of a business. So we just had read in the passage, of course, that a proprietor of the business. So our answer is D, that is proprietor. So this was the last question of this passage. We had 10 questions in this passage. Now let us move to the next passage. That is passage number 17. Now let us read the beginning of the passage. It is said that in country after country, progress should become synonymous with an assault on nature. We who are a part of nature and dependent on her for every need speak constantly about exploiting nature. When the highest mountain in the world was climbed in 1953, Jawaharlal Nehru objected to the phrase conquest of Everest, which he thought was arrogant. Now let us read the questions first. At the beginning of the passage, the writer expresses her opinion that in many countries progress is synonymous with. We just have read this line, that is synonymous with an assault on nature. Now, assault refers to attack. Now, let us see the options. Development, utmost care for nature, a balanced treatment of nature, or utmost cruelty to nature. Of course, the correct answer is D. Just we have read assault to nature, that means utmost cruelty to nature. So our answer is D. It is directly given in the passage and in the first or the beginning line. Now let us move to the next one. In the passage, the term exploiting nature suggests. Now we have read this word as well. Now let us see. We who are a part of nature and dependent on her for every need speak constantly about exploiting nature. Now we have to try to find out the meaning of this word. Now let us see the options. Regretfulness, sarcasm, destructive urge of men, greed of men. Of course, we are in greed of the resources, the sources, and for that we just tamper the nature. But here, if we see the sentence carefully, it is written for every need speak constantly about exploiting nature. So it means this is a sarcasm. It means something which is not given directly. We are just trying to say something else with the help of some other words. So this is here exploiting means sarcasm. So our answer is B, that is sarcasm. It is not the greed of men, because for just our needs, we are exploiting nature. It means it is a sarcasm. We are just speaking constantly about exploiting nature. We are just describing them that we are just using the resources of nature for because we need them. But on the other hand, we are just exploiting it. We are just using it in excessively, or you can say excessively and in not a proper manner. So therefore, here it is sarcasm. Now let us move to the next one. Nehru objected to the phrase conquest of Everest since. Now let us see the options. It carries a warlike connotation. It sounds pompous and boastful. It depicts Everest as a victim. Everest is unconquerable. Now we know well that because Nehru ji found that it is arrogant. So pompous and boastful are the synonyms of arrogant. So our answer is B. So our answer is B, of course. Now let us move to the next question. Gandhi's statement, it is decreasing in the jungles, but it is increasing in the towns, refers to. Now, the phrase, this line which has been given in the question, let us look for this line in the passage as well. So if we get back to the passage, now try to find out this line in the sentence. Of course, it is given in this paragraph. As you can see, the first paragraph of this page, that is, remarked Mr. Gandhi, it is decreasing in the jungles, but it is increasing in the towns. Now let us read some part of it before as well. I remember Edward Thompson, a British writer and a good friend of India, once telling Mr. Gandhi that wildlife was fast disappearing. Remarked Mr. Gandhi, it is decreasing in the jungles, but it is increasing in the towns. On the one hand, the rich look askance at our containing poverty, and the other they warn us against their own methods. We do not wish to impoverish the environment any further, and yet we cannot forget the grim poverty in a large number of people. Now let us see the options. We saw that the British writer was talking about the wildlife, to which Gandhiji remarked. Now let us see the options. Refers to wild animals, decrease in the jungle. Refers to flora and fauna. Refers to man's selfishness. Is a satirical comparison of men's callousness to the animals. Yes, of course. D is the correct answer. So our answer is D. Because if we say that it is increasing in the cities or increasing in towns, it does not mean that animals are coming in towns. It means the callousness of men, or you can say the behavior of men like an animal is increasing in towns. That is why he remarked. So it is just a satirical statement. Now let us move to the next one. Question number 5. The writer is of opinion that tribal people can be prevented from combing forest for food. Now, combing refers to search. Now, let us see this in the passage. Let us get back to the passage. Here we can see we cannot prevent them from combing the forest for food and livelihood, from poaching and from despoiling the vegetation. Now, let us see the options now. To provide employment, to increase purchasing power, by deterring them from poaching and despoiling vegetation, to provide employment and purchasing power for daily necessities. Now, what they are doing? They are combing just because, for instance, unless we are in a position to provide employment and purchasing power for the daily necessities of tribal people and those who live in and around the jungles, we cannot prevent. So, if we do this, we can prevent. So, the correct answer will be D. That to the writer is the opinion that tribal people can be prevented, because it is written they cannot be prevented unless this will happen. What? To provide employment and purchasing power for daily necessities. So our answer is D. If it has been done, they will be prevented, or they could be prevented. So this was the last question of this passage. I hope you understood all. So this was the last passage of this session. In the next session, we'll discuss some more passages. Thank you very much.